Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of the TV is Our Real Mom podcast. I'm your host, Dave, and as always, I'm joined by my co host, my sister, Katie. Katie, what's up?
Nothing, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing okay, other than my upper lip is extremely chapped and it's burning and it's annoying the crap out of me.
You're the only person in North Dakota I've ever heard of that doesn't have chapstick on hand at the end of a six month winter, and you still don't have chapstick.
Well, it hasn't been an issue up until today. I made
No.
it the whole winter without
Should
needing it.
always
But
have a stash.
yeah, I need some chapstick. And I feel like Bradley over here, I'm complaining so much. I mean,
Oh boy, he didn't stop complaining when he got voted off. I'll tell you that much.
So, man, Steven brought up a really good point, and I hadn't thought about this, but it is actually really hard to tell with Bradley's voice,
Yeah,
with the way he talks, if he's being serious or not when he says that stuff. Like
it's
he's got this
true.
tone of voice that I went back and listened to it, and you actually can't tell. He sounds it could really go either way when he says
Good luck, guys.
yeah, he's like, "Good luck, guys." Well, because the first thing he says is like, "Wow, guys, great job."
Hmm.
And then that sounded authentic.
Yeah,
I mean, he's like, "Good luck, guys."
yeah.
Then what does he say? Oh, adventure of a
Adventure of a
lifetime.
lifetime.
But like the
Yeah.
way he says it, it sounds like he might have been like that was he meant that. It's just his voice comes
You
off
know how
as
it spoke to me is that Bradley was pissed, but he knew what you're supposed to say in that moment when you get blindsided. And so he was following the script and trying not to look bitter. But it's Bradley, so it's going to come off as kind of dickish and maybe not sincere. I don't know.
I think you nailed it. I think that's exactly what's going on here is
Yeah.
he even said, I think in First One Out with Josh Wigler, that if he got voted out, he would be bummed, but he would have to say like, "Oh, good job." So I
Oh,
think
yeah,
he
maybe.
kind of had it in his head like that's how you're supposed to act when you get voted out. You're supposed to be
Yeah.
like, as a fan of the game, you're supposed to be the type of person that handles it well and says, "Good job, you got me."
Hmm.
And I think his voice was saying his feelings were saying one thing, and his voice, his
His
words
tone
were
of
saying
voice was saying another thing. Yeah.
right.
It was. Were you surprised? I wasn't surprised. In
Surprised
fact,
that.
I did predict this last week, but were you surprised?
Yes, I actually was. I was convinced that I was gonna be right
Right.
this week.
Because you've been right a lot this season,
Yeah, well, I was pretty damn close to being right again. I mean,
except not as close as I was,
yeah, you were
because I
exactly
was
right.
all the way.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I was really surprised. I don't think anyone thought with the way they're telegraphing the boot that it was gonna be Bradley.
But they haven't been telegraphing the boot. They've been
Oh,
really good
this
at
one was
disguising it.
this one was telegraphed to be Bradley, which is what made me think it was gonna be Libby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess
They
so.
were laying it on
But
so thick, like Bradley's annoying. We should get rid of him.
but in
And
my mind, you know what convinced me? Like as soon as they lost, I knew it was Bradley, and you're gonna laugh at me. But
uh,
when Jeff Probst in his tease last week said it would change the course of the game, Libby being voted out is not going to change the course of the game. But Bradley being voted out is finally that Navidi on Navidi crime that could actually shift the game and not just be a straight up pagonging of the Malolos.
that's a really good point. If I would have known Jeff Probst said that,
I
I
told you he said that.
I don't remember you saying that, but I've not been listening to you. But yeah, if I would have heard you say that, I definitely would have thought Bradley was going home because that just doesn't make sense. Why would Jet?
Well, you
That's
just wrote it off as Jeff Probst hyperbole.
okay. I did, didn't I? All
Yeah.
right, fine. But still, I mean, yeah, I was
Once
surprised.
in a while, he says something that is actually somewhat meaningful. But the only
Right.
reason I knew it was going to be Bradley is because the only other option they threw out there was Libby. And no, I'm sorry, but no one really will care if Libby goes home.
Yeah, exactly. So why did they vote out Bradley? What is the decision or yeah, what's the
Um,
motivation for the decision?
well, after there's been some press, exit press that kind of makes a little more sense. Apparently, even though Dominic was with Kellen and Bradley in the beginning, he had wanted to split them up because he thought they were too smart together. And according to Bradley, they would have run the game to the end together. So Dominic didn't want them at the merge together.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Also, don't you think if you were thinking it through, you're like, oh, Bradley is that type of guy that's super annoying and everybody's going to hate him. And so he's like a perfect goat. So everybody's going to want to take him all the way.
I would be surprised if that didn't cross his mind. Because when you're with someone who's Abby Maria-ish 24/7 for that long, it's going to cross your mind. Whether it makes the show or not, I feel like it probably crossed their mind. According to Bradley, they weren't looking at him as a GOAT. They were looking at him as a threat to win it all, which is why he was voted out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's interesting that we frame all this as Dominic's decision. It's not like anyone else had any say in it. It's like ultimately up to Dominic what happens.
It was really up to Dominic and Chelsea, but also according to Bradley, Chelsea had it in for him from the beginning. So
that's weird. I mean, he says when they're like, "Oh, we're gonna vote out Libby," or yeah, we're gonna vote out Libby. He says, "I'll talk to Chelsea." Like everyone else is like, "Oh, we good? Okay, I'll talk to Chelsea." Like he says, "I'll be the one to talk to her," which makes you think that he feels like they're like a duo or something.
Well, they were together from day one, and out of necessity, at the new Malolo, they had to be a team or whatever. But I think once Chelsea saw an opening to not be on a team with Bradley and work with other people, she wanted to take it. So I think it was probably a joint decision between Dominic and Chelsea, but they didn't show that. Just like last week, it's like that every season. There's stuff that goes on before tribal council scrambling, that a whole storyline sometimes that we just don't even see. So
I mean, it was presented coming from both their perspectives, honestly.
It was, yeah.
Confessionals. Chelsea was in there. She just doesn't pop like Dominic does.
No, she doesn't, and that's the whole thing. And she's just quieter. She's not in your face.
Yeah, half the things Dominic says seem like totally geared towards, I know I'm on TV and I need to give them something. Like
yeah,
he says,
that's what they want.
Yeah, he's like, what does he say? He's like, this is going to be a last minute decision. Like he's saying that to Chelsea, not in a confessional. Like he talks like that. He's very good for, you can see why they cast him totally.
Right. Oh, for sure. He's given them all they've wanted and more.
Right.
But I don't buy for a second that it was a last minute decision. That's not true. Otherwise, how would Jonathan and Libby know?
He says that to Chelsea like he's sitting in a confessional when he says it. He's good at it. He's good at the TV game. Okay, so we don't want to bury the lead here.
What's the lead?
The lead is Man in Black versus Jacob. Man,
yeah. How did we not see that before?
that is everything, man.
Can you believe how striking the similarities are? How much they look like the Man in Black and Jacob?
Right. So did it dawn on you in that one shot?
No.
In that one shot where it shows them, it didn't dawn on you?
No, it didn't dawn on me until you told me.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I thought so. Mom and I were watching it together, and we had that thought at the exact same time with the same shot, and it was insane. So I was saying to Mom, I'm like, I guarantee Catie in that same moment thought of it.
Well, I didn't have any time before Mom had sent me a text message, but no, I don't know. I just guess I wasn't paying close enough attention, but yeah, and it's funny because they're in a battle for the soul of the season, which is called Ghost Island, and Lost is the island, battle for the island. Well, I guess
mysterious island.
Get off
I mean, just real quick, because I just think it's so crazy, the coincidence. Just to explain to anyone who hasn't seen Lost, like who Jacob and the Man in Black are, as quickly as possible.
How can you explain that quickly?
It
took
easy.
The season,
okay.
the show 6 seasons to get there. They're the two mythical brothers.
It's a spoiler
for the soul of the island
for the season. Yeah. So yeah, Jacob's the good one. He dresses in white, and Man in Black
blonde with a goatee, just like Chris.
And the Man in Black dresses in black, and he's the brother of Jacob, and he's trying to kill Jacob. Like he
He's trying to
wants.
get off the island.
Basically, they hate each other. Like
They do. They're twin
they
brothers. It's like Cain and Abel, you know, the classic brothers story that want to kill each other.
and it's
Or
Lost. It takes place on a beach, just like Survivor, and the
yes.
resemblance as the in that preview, man, it was insane.
I need to watch it again.
I couldn't
What
believe
what
it.
are the odds you think? Okay, let's say for the merge feast, they get some wine, and Wendell goes up to Dom and he's like, "Hey, you should talk to Chris." And we get a scene with Chris and Dom sitting on the beach, and they have a half full bottle of wine, and they're just talking about the fate of the season.
Then
if they can come together, I don't
Mm.
know if it'll be a better season, but it'll be interesting. But if they go head to head, you know, they're gonna possibly destroy the island and leave it up to Jack. Who's Jack? Let's say Michael's Jack to really save the season.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm convinced that this season is staged and like they planted those two. Like,
dude, Lost is 10 years ago, 8 years ago. No one, it's not forefront of people's minds like it is for us. You know what I mean? Like
but,
Lost was very
maybe
important
Survivor,
to us.
maybe it is for Survivor producers, but no, I'm just kidding. I don't think that's possible. But
right,
man, like how did that happen? It's just nuts. It's insane.
You know, I need to rewatch it because I think I was looking at my phone at that part or something. Because
dude, watch the preview. It's like it's uncanny. It's mind blowing. And we weren't the only ones who saw it because you said
no,
Reddit.
It was on Reddit not long after.
Like yeah,
Reddit
that. Memes.
But
there's even a part in the preview where Wendell says
if they could come together,
those two could come together and destroy the world.
Yeah,
or blow up the world. He says.
Who's Wendell in this scenario? He's like Sawyer or Hurley or the like affable.
He's Hugo. Yeah.
Hugo, maybe. Okay.
But like,
yeah, I was trying to think, like, break it into Team Chris versus Team Dominic, and like, okay, who's Kate and who's Jack and blah. But you know, you don't get a 1-for-1 on everybody.
It's
but
too much. We do have a podcast out there where we do Survivor Lost Island.
Yes, I forgot who won. I mean, I don't want to give it away. I'm just trying to remember. Oh, I think I remember who won.
I think so too.
Okay. Anyway, I know it's the Lost resemblance is ridiculous, but I also saw another thing that's also super fitting is from Rocky IV when Rocky fights Ivan Drago, you know, the big Russian guy.
Oh yeah. That's pretty good.
That's pretty on the nose too. Yeah. We know how that turned out.
Yeah. Yeah, just crazy, man.
Crazy. We'll see how it actually plays out next week. They're finally gonna have their factions, which I don't even know what their factions are. Like I was literally with a piece of paper and a pen trying to figure out who's with who, and it's muddled. I don't know who's gonna go with who. It'll be really interesting.
I don't even have any clue.
Because like even Wendell, who you would think would be straight up Team Dominic, but he's been crushing it with Chris. So I don't know if he's gonna be so quick to want to abandon that. You know, that's a really tasty meat shield to have out in front of you. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why you need to stick with Chris after you've gotten out of the tribal part of the game. But you did say the meat shield thing, but I don't know how important that is for somebody like Wendell. He's not like a challenge beast or anything. I mean, he's okay.
If it's shooting baskets, he is.
Every challenge is going to be them shooting baskets. And for this challenge, another basket shooting challenge.
Hey, if they want to pull a season 35 and they want him to win, that's what they'll do.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. They're like, we really want Ben to win, or Wendell. We want Bendel to win. What do we do? Just make every challenge a hoops challenge. There you go. Problem solved.
Answer. Yep.
So this was the episode of advantages and stuff.
Yeah, they really made up for lost time.
Yeah, I remember. Wasn't it just last week we were complaining that we're like, where's all the
They had 2 episodes where there were like no flashbacks, you know?
Yeah, no Ghost Island stuff, nothing about throwbacks, and here we get 3 in one episode. So let's recap the 3 advantages quickly and just and then we need to let's take account of all the advantages in the game just so we can see where things are at going into merge. Okay. So in this episode, right off the bat, we get Michael looking for an idol. Nobody's watching him.
They're commenting on it. Angela was checking on him.
She tried. I think Angela tried, but like, what are you gonna do? I mean, we've had.
He said he was being aggressive about it.
Yeah, I mean, we have seasons where people chase each other around and they
Mhm.
chase each other down and try to steal the idol from them.
Yeah.
It happens all the time, but I mean, how successful is that ever? If the person wants to
Uh,
find an idol, they're gonna find it. So the most you can do is go find it first, I guess.
Even when
So
Wu was after Spencer, he still found it
yeah,
and hid
exactly.
it.
I mean, you can find it first, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all they can
Yeah.
do. And maybe
Mhm.
they should have done that, right?
Yeah.
Go looking for it, find it before he does, maybe.
Go looking at the same time. If he's looking, you're looking.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. But then again, maybe going to the merge. They didn't know they were gonna make the merge though.
It
So yeah,
kind of
still
seemed like a montage of Michael looking. Like it doesn't seem like it was all on the same day. Like it was kind of a mesh. Like he looked for it many different times.
I think that's right. Yep. So, anyways, he happens to stumble upon the effing stick from which one is that from?
Micronesia.
Yeah, they're both from Micronesia.
Princesca.
Yeah. So there's that. I don't know. What do you
He
want to
found
say
it.
about?
He's
Yeah.
got it. He's good to go.
Are these idols somewhat underwhelming to you, like this whole thing, or do you? Is
I
it?
don't understand why they made this bullshit thing like this stick has been maturing on Ghost Island for the last 10 years. It's like, no, it hasn't. It's been on a producer's desk or something. I don't think that's right.
I think
So
it's fun.
I don't know why they had to lie,
I
but
kind of like
whatever.
it. I kind of like it. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give it a
Um.
fake backstory. That's fine.
Yeah, I dig it. But damn, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Well, Michael's got an idol. That's good. I'm
Yeah,
not
there.
surprised he found one. I'm not surprised he found another.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of advantages as we'll get into. So
Just in this episode alone.
yeah, we'll see how they all play out.
I've got a bone to pick with one of these advantages. I bet you can guess which one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the next one we should talk about quickly. So Kellen ends up being the one to go to Ghost Island. And real quick, did you like how they sort of forced them to pick somebody to go to
Yeah,
Ghost Island?
because then you knew you would have lost. One person wouldn't have gotten a reward, and that would have been kind of a dick move. So I understand why they sent someone who had already been there, but I also think Bradley wanted Kellen to get an advantage. So I'm not sure why Jonathan and Libby went along with it, but whatever, they did.
Right. I mean, I liked that they did that because it was getting old that they were just drawing rocks to see
Yeah.
who went,
No, you're right.
So production did a good job of figuring out a way like, okay, let's threaten them with this possibility of somebody's going to miss the reward.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
It's
that'll
smart.
push them into actually picking somebody so the TV is actually good.
Yeah, maybe that's why they skipped Ghost Island last week, because they wanted to tweak it a little bit, because they did that. And then they also gave you a 2 out of 3 shot of getting it right instead of 50, which is also, reeks of Ben finagling, but okay.
Yeah, they adjusted that too. You got a 2 out of 3 chance to get the advantage there, and she's already at a 3-1 advantage on her tribe.
Yeah,
as far
so
as
it's worth it.
So it's a no-brainer to take the chance, and of course she finds it. Are you in the camp thinking that all 3 of these are filled with advantages?
No,
I think they might be. Because why would they have her play twice and then not get anything? I think they just put them in all 3.
It's not rigged. We're not getting into the Ghost Island is rigged business.
Yeah, you're right. Even though I think it is. No, I mean, I think that part very well could be. But anyways, yeah, let's pretend it's not. Okay. So, yeah, her advantage. Tell me about that. Tell me about that advantage.
I have to say this about her advantage, okay? Hers was not the first vote steal or extra vote or whatever it is. It was, however, the first one to be played correctly. Therefore, it is an item that broke a curse of the previous vote steals, vote extra votes. So how is that a cursed item? This vote steal was the first of its kind to be played correctly and lead someone to victory. How is it a cursed item? It is a blessed item. And now Kellen has it, and she's going to be blessed.
Yeah, what's so frustrating about that too is you do have two other seasons to draw from where the
You could use
advan
Stevens.
that's what I'm saying. Stevens was much. There's a much better argument to be made that Stevens was cursed. It
Yes.
just makes me wonder if like if they're playing towards the casual fans, like people don't, casual fans don't like Steven as much, so they're not going to give a crap about his advantage as much. Where the recent casuals are all on board about Michaela.
Yeah,
So
but do
this
recent fans remember Jason Siska? I barely remember Jason Siska.
maybe it's just because of it's just so epic in Survivor history. Everybody knows about the effing stick. Everybody knows Eric gave his
Well, I
immunity
know
necklace away.
they didn't want to bring Dan Foley back into things, so I know why they didn't pick his. But like, I just it almost seems like they're just rewriting things. How like the effing stick, who remembered that it took out first Eliza, then Jason, and then Ozzy, and then Jason, like all three of them. Like
That one's definitely cursed. That makes
it
a lot of
is,
sense.
but like no one thinks of it that way. They threw that together, and then they tried
Which
to
I
do the
liked.
same. That one worked, but they tried to do the same thing with the Michaela thing. Like, oh, she saw it, or she never saw it. How is it hers if she never even saw it? She never even touched it. It
Yeah.
wasn't a cursed item for her. It had nothing to do with her. It was one of the game-winning moves that Sarah Lacina made.
Yeah, that one's really bad. I completely agree
It's
with
a
you.
stretch, and there's a lot they could pull from.
They could have
Like you
just taken
said.
they could have just used Stevens because
Stephen
now
Fishback is known still. Believe me, people are going to remember who Stephen Fishback
yeah,
is.
because now at this point it's like I don't see them ever using Stevens' advantage down the line.
Yeah, because they've already got one out there.
Yeah, I think they just left his out and went with Michaela's for whatever reason.
And I guess they couldn't use Lauren's because they haven't seen that season yet. But
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, it's not great, man. So what is her? What is? What
It's
does
just an
her?
extra vote.
That's all it is. Just she can vote twice.
It's been maturing on Ghost Island, so it's transformed from a steal a vote to an extra vote.
That's
It's
another thing.
mutated.
They had to like twist it so much
It's
just to
not
get it
even.
to be.
It doesn't even have the same power that it was originally supposed to have. Like they basically just made something up.
Yeah,
Called it cursed.
that one is. They can't do much worse the rest of the season. That one was
No.
really bad.
That's the worst one.
And it's funny that it ended up in Kellen's hands.
Yeah, well, that's fitting.
Okay. So, what else is there to talk about? There's a lot to talk about. We might as well keep
Wendell's
talking about
idol.
these, yeah,
Gotta talk about Wendell.
or these advantages. So Wendell goes and finds Eric's necklace from Micronesia, season 16, fans versus favorites.
Same season as Michael's idol.
Did you remember that apparently Brandon Hance gave away his necklace too?
I did remember that, but it wasn't
and he
surprising.
got voted out.
It wasn't surprising coming from him because he was an idiot.
Yeah, but that blew my mind. I was like, oh yeah, like nobody ever talks about that, but he did the exact same thing after
Eric Reichenbach was a pioneer. Brandon Hance probably never watched it.
Oh man, I mean that's just insane to me. I had totally forgotten that it happened twice.
It did happen twice.
So, anyways, yeah, he finds Eric's hidden or his immunity necklace he gave away. Now it's matured again.
10 years it took.
I love that they use the word matured.
It's matured
like, instead of like
into a hidden immunity idol.
Yeah.
Which where the hell are you gonna hide it? It's not a hidden immunity idol.
Yeah, it matured into something that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know where he's gonna put it, and if he's gonna use it. I mean, obviously he has to bury it somewhere. So if he's gonna use it though, he's gonna have to take his bag with him. There's no other way. You have to take your bag with you.
Right. So in the shot where he finds it, when they leave that scene or whatever, they show Wendell basically burying it right there, and it didn't look like he tried very hard.
It looked like someone could come up accidentally on that tree and lift up that rock and find it. But hopefully, you know what he's probably thinking is that the merge is coming and he'll find a better spot for it once they go to. I'm assuming since Navidi is like the resort of the island that they're gonna merge at Navidi Beach, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna bite him in the ass, but it did seem like really risky to just like hide it right there where you found it. Who's to say someone else isn't gonna go looking for an idol and find it too? It
Yeah, there must
was,
have been more to that. Maybe that was just for the camera. I don't know.
and he might have, yeah, he might have just started it there and made a plan to go back and get it and
Yeah,
move
because
it.
he's super detail oriented. He's not gonna just leave that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem. Yeah,
Wendell's good.
you're
He's
right
not.
though. I don't know how he's gonna like carry it anywhere. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
no idea.
No idea. He's gonna have to take a bag. He's gonna have to make a habit of taking his bag to every tribal council so that people aren't suspicious when he takes his bag to tribal council.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe they always do. I don't know. Some people I feel like they don't though.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just recap every challenge in the game right now that's headed into the merge. So you got
Every
Michael,
advantage?
every advantage slash idol.
Okay.
Michael has an idol.
He does. Dom
Dominic
has an idol.
has an idol and the legacy
advantage.
advantage.
Do you think he'll play that next week?
He has
think
the
he should.
option. He
I don't.
probably should.
I think he should.
He has the option to play the legacy advantage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he has the option to play the idol too.
Well, since you have the idol, I say keep the idol for now,
Well,
so
yeah.
you have more flexibility with that.
Yeah.
Right now, you have an opportunity to play this, get it out of your hands, so nobody's worried about it if they found it out.
Yeah.
So many reasons to play it now.
I would
right?
play it now.
Okay, so he's got those two things, and then we got Wendell has an idol.
Yep.
Kellen has an advantage.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
Most of them were this week. The
Yeah.
other were just Dominic's.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Yeah, we went from one guy having advantages to 4 people having advantages. So that's spread the wealth a little bit.
Indubitably. What do you think of Donathan? Anything about Donathan? I got a couple things about him.
You got a couple things about him? I felt bad for him because Bradley was just being a little bitch. But
no, who else felt bad for him?
Chelsea.
Yeah, she actually said, she's like, I was
She
like,
was me.
Leave him alone.
I feel like Chelsea is me. I feel like
maybe.
she's quiet. She's just kind of fading into the background. Coffee makes her so happy she cries. She wants to stick up for Donathan. I feel a connection to Chelsea.
Awesome. Well, that's our dual winner pick. Still going.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Were you like shocked at Bradley's behavior? Because I really just couldn't believe that was him reining it in. That was him trying not to be a dick.
Yeah, apparently that is just the way he acts and part of his personality. Because he mentioned that this is what brings him down and ruins things for him in his real life, and it's like something he's aware of that it has been a problem for him. So he's just got an arrogant personality. I'd love to like see his parents. I guarantee his parents are like the same way. They're just pricks. They just think they're better than everybody, you know. That's
it's weird. It's weird that maybe that's why he's hanging out with Kellen, is because, well, people say she's like super positive and all this stuff. Maybe he's trying to like glean some of that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or he's just trying to like plant some seeds so he can date her after Survivor, you know.
Or that.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was funny that basically in Tribal, yeah, Bradley said the easiest way to have a back and forth is to argue.
Yeah, that's a sign of someone I don't ever want to be around.
Yeah. It's just
I've been around people like that, and
back and forth,
they say that. They're like, yeah, I just like to have a conversation. It's no, that's not what it is. You like to be right, and you like to get your way, and you like to project how smart you are and how much better you are than everyone else.
Right. Yeah, no good.
It's no good.
Did you like Sebastian's face when they revealed the food?
Did you see? Somebody tweeted out when Malolo won. It was Sebastian's like got his arms up, like they were like, even Sebastian's happy for Malolo when they finally didn't lose the challenge. Yeah. He was like
cheering for him.
Yeah. So even when he doesn't say that much, he's very entertaining.
So in that same reward challenge, there was a really funny moment. Where Kellen says, she's like, "You're next, James."
That was,
I
I
mean,
thought it was Angie. I've heard someone say it was Angie, someone say it was Des, and someone say it was Kellen. Who was it?
it's I thought it was Kellen.
Okay.
I'm 100, not 100, sorry, 90% sure it was Kellen. And
Okay.
she's like, "You're next, James," and he's like, "I'm Michael." Yeah, that was good.
I'm Michael.
Yeah,
Clever response.
clever retort.
Uh, that's a
Um,
clever retort. So where do you think Michael's gonna go in this merge? I'm interested in what you think.
he's good to go, man.
I know, but like, who's he
Oh,
gonna go with? I think he's closer with Kellen than we thought, but now Bradley's gone. So is Kellen gonna be pissed and go over with Chris, or like, what's gonna happen?
I have no idea, man.
Okay,
Like, I have no clue. Like,
yeah, that's good.
there's just too many. Yeah, there's too many relationships here. I have no idea who's good. I only know like maybe who hates each other, and that's
Chris and
Chris and
Dom.
Dominic, and that's it.
Well,
I don't
that's what they're
know.
framing the episode as: is Chris versus Dom, or Jacob versus the Man in Black.
Right. It would really behoove those two to get on the same page, man, to like just bury the
You know,
hatchet.
if anyone could bring those two together, it's Wendell. I mean, he'd be good at that, I think.
Man, if he could do that, that would be a killer final three. Dominic, Chris, and Wendell. Ooh, that would be
But if he
good.
does that, don't you think the Malolos are kind of screwed? Like Michael and
Oh yeah.
Monica.
Yeah, I think they are screwed. I think Navidi's got this thing wrapped up.
So you really think they're going to come back together?
No, I mean they'll knock out a couple Navidi, but they have such a strong advantage now. I mean they're up what, like three or two or three guys. They could lose a couple. They'll still be up, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like Kellen's going to see that how much of a threat Dominic is. She's going to want to go after him, and I think he might want to go after her.
Yeah, but that's one vote, you know. One like
Well, who's to say that's not going to... One vote can change everything. One vote can completely shift alliances and allegiances, and things are just different after a big vote, you know?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
that's true.
I got my money on Navidi though.
Well, I'm not saying A Navidi might not win, but I
Oh,
don't think it's going to be the 8 Navidis come together and take out the 5. There's still 5
yeah.
Malolos.
No, I don't think it's gonna be like that either. I don't
Okay.
think it's gonna be a total pagonging. I just think Malolo is in a tough spot because Navidi does have more than we've seen, or more. I don't know. I think there's this whole Navidi pride thing going on. There's a lot of tribal stuff going on with them.
But don't you think what happened at this tribal council might change that? Because Bradley was one of the spearheaders of the Navidi Strong thing.
He really was. You're right. I mean, he was all about playing that old school loyalty game. So
And Kellen was already worried when she heard about Dominic and Wendell trying to vote out Angela. Now they took out her person. She's going to be really concerned and also probably pissed.
yeah, I can't wait to see the look on her face. It's gonna be freaking awesome. And
She like, because when she got picked to go to Ghost Island, she was trying to be like stoic about it, but you could just see the annoyance, anger, fear all over her face.
yeah,
But you could also see her fighting it.
yeah, she is such an emotional person.
Very much so.
Good. It's good though. Yeah, one of the things I don't like about like looking at Survivor this way, where we make predictions and all that stuff, and is like it had me like basically rooting for Libby to go home because that was what I predicted would happen.
Oh.
And I was like,
Well,
oh
it's not like there's anything at stake.
no, but that's what ends up happening with me. I'm like, come on, Libby, go home. I want to be right. And at the same time, there was this delicious moment where the guy a few weeks ago, I was saying I hated this guy. Like, he's such a prick. I want to punch him in the face. You know, there's that delicious moment where he gets blindsided, and I didn't even really enjoy it the way I should have because I'm like, oh, shit, I wasn't right, you know?
Well, do you want to
So
stop making predictions?
maybe we should.
Okay. We can.
I'm just kidding. We'll keep doing that.
I don't want to suck the enjoyment out of villain blindsides for you. I mean, that's one of the few moments that
I'm just saying, like because of that, it was totally lost on me that this guy I hated.
That's you. You
got
get
blindsided.
invested like fantasy football. I mean, you have to watch every team play because
I don't though. I don't do that
you
anymore.
used to.
Yeah, this season I didn't watch every football game on Sunday. Really,
that's good. That's healthy.
I watched the Vikings play, and that was it.
Yes,
pretty much.
That's good.
For the most part, I'd catch another game here and there. I think I watched all the playoffs though. I like the playoffs.
Well, though, there's things at stake. I mean, when we make our predictions, look, I think this was the first week I've gotten it right. So, like,
You've been
I
close,
never get it right. So it's when you do get it right, it's like, oh, that's neat, but you don't gain anything other than boasting on a podcast, maybe.
Right.
Which is kind of fun.
Speaking of predictions, I think we're probably both going to predict the same thing for next week. So.
I have no idea what to predict.
Oh, really?
I'm going to predict Kellen goes home. I think Kellen's days are up.
Wow, I don't see it.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah, that advantage wouldn't save her, most likely, too. If they want to get...
people... Dom has an army.
Well, you're right. There's enough intermingling and the lines are so blurred. It would be super easy to get everybody to vote for Kellen.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you could get everyone to vote for the same person, potentially. I don't think you're going to have... You could see warring factions and close numbers, but you could just as easily see like everybody decides to vote out one person. Because I think these people have bonded across all lines, except for Chris and Dominic.
Well, I think Chris and Dom, neither of them have spent any significant amount of time with Kellen, besides the first 6 days, but I could see both of them being like, yeah, she's dangerous, let's get her. And that'd be like a consensus merge boot.
So you're going with Kellen?
I am. I know who you're going to go with, though.
Yeah, definitely Chris.
Yeah, he's the quintessential merge boot. But I don't want to lose him. I don't want to lose him.
I don't want to lose him either. It's just like
preview for next week. Did you see when he's called himself Suave? Oh God, it's hilarious.
He's like, I'm too suave for that.
I know he's just. I'm the loser.
Yeah,
I don't even.
He's like, Chris is an idiot.
Chris is an idiot.
That's what made me think of like Man in Black and Jaco. It's just there because they're both like talking shit about each other to like Richard Alpert, you know,
to their face. Usually they would talk shit about each other to each other's face.
Oh yeah, that's right. They would go sit down next to each other, be like,
so hopefully, I would like to see that those two go at it, face to face,
head to head. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Forgot to mention my favorite Chris line from this episode.
He was barely on.
Well, he said, "Look, I'm a big guy too. I gotta eat. I love to eat." That's what he's like. I love to eat, and that was like the end of the confessional.
Oh yeah, he had a secret scene too where he was talking about that, eating the chicken kebabs,
how delicious they were.
Yeah. And then there was one where Sebastian was talking about it too, talking about how when he was burping it up, he was enjoying it so much, and he called it his regurgitory system or something like that.
Oh God, that's disgusting.
It was funny.
Oh yeah, Sebastian's a funny guy.
Yeah, I don't want him to go anywhere either. So if Chris goes, then I have to worry about not that he's, Bradley in his exit interview, he was saying how he wanted to take Sebastian to the end because he's not playing at all, and Chelsea wasn't playing at all. And it's like, just because you don't see someone playing or you don't perceive them as playing or they're not playing the same way as you or with you, it doesn't mean they're not playing. Because Chelsea was very involved in the discussions to get you out. So like that annoyed me.
Yeah, she's really come more to the front in these recent episodes, but I still don't think we know enough about her for her to have any shot of winning this season.
No, but I'm just saying, just because Bradley doesn't see someone playing, doesn't mean they're not playing.
Right, but that's all you have to go on in the jury,
But that's what he said in every one of his exit interviews. They weren't playing at all. They weren't playing the game. And it's like, he called Chelsea irrelevant in every interview he gave. And I was like, find another word. That's not nice.
Jeez, how many interviews with Bradley did you listen to?
I read them every Thursday morning. I read the different interviews. There's like 3 of them.
Oh man.
There's Dalton Ross, Gordon Holmes, and Josh Wigler.
Okay. We didn't do MVPs.
Oh yes. I don't know. Wendell. I picked him last week, didn't I?
That's good. Wendell's good.
Or Michael. Wendell or Michael. Burning the flag. That was a good move. It actually seemed to have worked. So.
Okay.
The idol finders.
Yeah, I'll go with Michael. Because it's tough to say if Michael or if Dominic seemed to be like the guy they wanted to frame as making the decision you know, we talked about this at the top of the podcast,
Mhm.
but it's yeah, it's just yet to be seen if that was the right move or not, and
Mhm.
it doesn't feel like it necessarily was. So
Yeah, well, we won't know for sure until.
and you could give it to Chelsea or Dominic. So I'm going to say Michael, just because, I
Okay.
mean, talk about like rags to riches, man. Like he's got a real shot in the game now.
Yeah.
I do think he's going to be targeted very early in the merge again, like because
Mhm.
he's proved he's a physical threat. People are going to hear the story about the way he played his other idol. If he has to play the idol early on, it'll make him a bigger target, and he won't have an idol. So he's just got a long row to
Yeah.
hoe.
I think if he decides to stick with Kellen, he might be in trouble. But if he goes back with like Libby and Donathan, which I don't know that he would, maybe Libby, but I don't know that he has a lot of ties with the remaining Malolos.
Yeah,
So
he's in a tough spot, but
he
like if
really
he's
might just stick with Kellen and Desiree. I don't
yeah,
know.
he's also just better off than he was, you know,
Well, yeah,
before.
he had no choice, and clawing his way through kind of probably gave people respect for him and want to work with him, and or they want to get him out. I don't know.
Or they want to get him out, yeah. But I mean, he's got a shot now, you know.
Oh yeah, he's in a better spot than he was.
Yeah, he's not totally screwed.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'll give him my MVP.
Okay, good call.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, that is about it.
All right, that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter at TV is our real mom. Give us a click on the subscribe button. Give us a click on the thumbs up button and leave us a comment. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Bye.